Today's episode is brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now today we're going to talk about a character that a lot of people are familiar with. Blade is exactly the type of person that you want hunting down supernatural threats in the night. This half-vampire has spent his long career protecting the world from the things that go bump in the night while brushing elbows with some of the most powerful heroes in the Marvel Universe. But most people don't realize that Blade didn't start out as the Daywalker. Let's have a look at his past. Blade has always shown himself to be highly dedicated to his goal of hunting down and killing every single vampire on the known Earth. Nothing will sway him from this goal. His dedication is pure, to the point where he's gotten into fights against other heroes. Blade was created by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan to act as a hero fighting against Dracula. First appearing in The Tomb of Dracula, number 10, in 1973, the character was used for most of the 11 issues and then appeared sporadically. Wolfman eventually pulled him out of the series, citing that he felt the character was overshadowing the book, and that he didn't have the ability to write him properly. Blade would get his own solo story in Vampire Tales number 8 in 1974. He would feature randomly throughout the 70s and the 80s, but become more popular in the 90s, when dark and edgy characters became the norm. Blade was then featured heavily in the Midnight Suns books, brought together by Doctor Strange to fight against the forces of evil. He would also join the Night Stalkers, but it was after he was featured in the Spider-Man animated series in the Blade trilogy that his character suddenly became incredibly popular, with the character becoming a half-vampire to fall in line with the movies. Since then, Blade has been featured throughout the Marvel Universe, teaming up with several powerful heroes to stop vampire threats throughout the world. He has fought alongside the X-Men, joined governments such as S.H.I.E.L.D. and MI-13, and is currently a member of the Avengers and the Sheriff of Chernobyl. That's the place where the new vampire nation has laid its claim. Eric Cross Brooks was born with an immunity to vampire bites after his mother was killed by the vampire Deacon Frost when she was giving birth to him. Eric would then be taken in by 𝕬𝖎𝖈 after he helped fight against 3 vampires. Learning of Eric's past, 𝕬𝖎𝖈 began to teach him in the way of hunting vampires. With Eric becoming an extraordinary athlete and highly skilled with knives, he took on the moniker of Blade. Blade became highly skilled at hunting weaker vampires and eventually joined a group known as the Blood Shadows. The gang continued to hunt the vampires until they came up against the 𝕬𝖎𝖈, a powerful vampire who had wiped out the gang before Blade could kill her. He would learn that 𝕬𝖎𝖈 was also killed by Dracula and would begin his hunt for the vampire lord. Blade would then team up with Quincy Harker, Rachel Van Helsing, and Frank Drake. The group would hunt down Dracula across the world, believing that they had killed him several times, though the Lord of Vampires would eventually return. Blade would then eventually come to America, where he would meet Hannibal King, who had been turned into a vampire by Deacon Frost. The pair would hunt down Frost, eventually killing him, and the pair would then form the team known as the Night Stalkers, hunting supernatural threats throughout America. They would also team up with the Midnight Suns, led by Doctor Strange, fighting alongside the likes of Ghost Rider and Morbius, hunting down vampires, warlocks, and the Darkholders. They would work alongside Strange to cast the Montesi formula, wiping out all of the vampires from the Earth, though they all eventually returned due to the reversing of the spell and Marvel's need to have vampires in their stories. Blade would then strike out on his own once again, teaming up alongside other heroes in the Marvel Universe. While working with Spider-Man, he would then be bitten by Morbius, the living vampire. The unique vampire bite would cause his already strange DNA to mutate, giving Blade all of the strengths of the vampires that he hunted, but none of the weaknesses. Afterwards, Blade was given the nickname Daywalker by the Vampire Nation. During most of the major events, Blade has been shown to work in the background, hunting vampires and evil in the darker corners of the Marvel Universe. He's worked with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a time, training their vampire hunting units, and also became an agent of MI-13 in London. He worked alongside the X-Men when they fought against Zarius, Dracula's son, and the new ruler of the Vampire Nation, but he departed from the team when they tried to kill a turned Jubilee and disagreed on the idea of resurrecting Dracula to fight his son. He would then fight alongside and eventually join the Avengers at Black Panther's request, fighting alongside them during the Vampire Civil War. After the Vampire Nation laid claim to Chernobyl, he was appointed the sheriff by the Avengers. So there you have it. Blade is definitely someone that you want on your side when fighting against the forces of darkness. I mean, he's already fought on the side of the Midnight Suns in the past, so why wouldn't he be involved in this story? If you want to know more about what his role is in the game, you'll just have to play the game to find out. And check back with us for more info on Marvel's Midnight Suns. Hope you enjoyed today's video. My name is Benny, and this video was brought to you by Marvel's Midnight Suns. I'll see you guys next time.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, 𝕚𝖎𝖙. We're doing another Midnight Suns video from one vampire to another vampire, half vampire, the Daywalker. This is the one I've been waiting for, is Blade. Let's get it.
Well, it's October already.
That's true.
I know. Shocking. I couldn't think of a better month, though,
Blade.
to cover this Marvel's Midnight Suns superhero. As always, this video is brought to you by Marvel in 2K. Now, going back a ways, in 1998, I personally was unknowingly introduced to the world of superhero movies with this superhero at the helm. One of the original Midnight Suns, the Daywalker himself. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
I gotta look up the voice actor. I think I know who it is.
On the roster. I'm very excited to present to you Mr. Eric Brooks, aka Blade.
We invented stuff.
That is.
As a damn
I know who that
half
is.
human,
That
half
voice actor.
vampire, Blade's playstyle is pretty much what you would expect, but not without a few.
I wish it was
twists
Wesley
and turns
Snipes,
here.
but
He definitely falls into the all I want to do is hit stuff camp, but
Ooh.
as you'd imagine, he's applying a lot of bleed on top of that. Especially effective against high health enemies, Bleed is going to see enemies taking damage every turn. He also has a nice complement of chaining abilities that will apply bleed liberally across the enemy squad. And on top of that, once enemies are bleeding, he has a few abilities that will deal increased damage. So let's get into it. First up, we're going to take a look at Make 'em Bleed. Aptly titled, this will be your main way of getting bleed added to your other card attacks. Make 'em Bleed is going to cause you to draw blade cards and then add bleed to your next 2 blade attacks, regardless of what was drawn. Considering the importance of bleed to a dampier like Blade, the card is absolutely essential to have in the deck. If you're lucky enough to have a big chain card in your hand after playing this, the Hydra are definitely going to fall pretty quickly. Now at level 1, you'll draw 1 blade card, and the next 2 blade attacks will apply 2 bleed. On upgrade, you'll draw 2 blade cards, and the next 3 blade attacks will apply 2 bleed. Share the love. Blade would love that. If you've seen any Blade quotes from videos about Marvel's
Michael
Midnight
J.
Suns, you may
White,
notice
that's
that
who it
he's a
was.
bit more on the serious side. Mr. Brooks has a pretty thick shell, which is understandable based on his upbringing. But if you're willing to try and break through that rough exterior, you might just find a big softy inside.
Barely saw them as human.
But probably not. Either way, if you're able to build your friendship with Blade, you'll really get the blood flowing. And yes, I mean that literally. At his level 1 friendship passive, you're getting a 10% chance of applying bleed on any attacks he makes. Level 2 sees that jumping to 25%. Before you know it, you're fighting in a literal bloodbath just the way that Blade likes it. This is the time to embrace the darker side of the Marvel Universe, my friends. This is the time. So you've applied bleed around the battlefield en masse. What can you do with that now? Well, Blade's skill, called the Hunger, will apply 2 marked to every unit with bleed. Now, we haven't talked about the marked mechanic for quite a while, so just as a quick refresher, how it works is when you KO a marked enemy, you get that card play refunded. That's right. Blade's going to allow for a lot of free card plays. On upgrade, you'll also heal Blade for each enemy with bleed at the time of playing the Hunger, and a late game mod could also grant +1 heroism when redrawing the card. If you've been paying attention to previous videos, you know what's coming next. That's right, big bad Blade heroics.
Daywalker.
Let's go. I dropped the name of this card earlier. It's called Daywalker. Powerful on its own as a chain 4 card. Raw damage output is very high, but Daywalker is especially effective when played after Make 'em Bleed, because true to the name, you'll in fact make 'em bleed everywhere. On upgrade, Daywalker also lets you draw a card for each target in the chain that you KO. Now let's finish up with Blade's Golden Midnight Suns heroic.
ooh, maybe it's a bite.
I hope you invited all the Hydra you know to this party, because Blade would like to have a word with them. At a cost of 4 heroism, which isn't cheap, Blade will cast 𝕬𝖆𝖈 to target an AoE, applying huge damage, and applying 2 bleed to every enemy in the AoE.
Really?
It's insanely powerful, so it rightfully carries the exhaust mechanic, but just in case you didn't think it was strong enough, you can upgrade it to level 2, and at that point, you'll get a 100% damage increase if the units you're targeting already have bleed. Bye-bye, bleeding baddies. Blade's blade isn't just bark. Wrote that myself. So, as you probably guessed, Blade is going to fit best with squads that can buff him up to share the love on his chain attacks. When you get a chance to see all of his cards, you'll notice a clear lack of knockback cards, so he's going to rely on other superheroes to reposition enemies for him. We're continuing to close in on December 2nd, and I'm just as excited as you are to get my hands on this game. Thank you so much for watching this series, you guys. Thanks to Marvel and 2K for working with me on these videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to both Marvel's Midnight Suns channel and my own. Check out the description below this video for all the important links. We're going to see you very soon, so hit that bell icon to be notified of the next video. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Ooh, okay. Okay, 2 things out of this one, I would say would be, first, I wish it was Wesley Snipes that would have did the voice acting for Blade, but it's okay. It's Michael J. White. If you don't know Michael J. White, he played Spawn. He played Spawn in the Spawn movie. And then my second thing, his finisher, what is it, cleaver? That was shitty. That was so shitty. A shitty finisher. I'm like, bruh. I'm expecting like he's a half vampire, so I'm expecting like something like biting or something. Like they don't even have a bite move, like, cause he has fangs. That's why I feel like they missed their opportunity right there with Blade. Especially with his katana too, they missed a good opportunity. Cause I feel like if it's me, what I would have did like a move where Blade pulls out his katana, slice, stick it in you, then bite you on the neck, then pull it out, and then pull his sword out, and then slice your neck right off. Something like that. Or do something where it's like he do a couple combos, then he bites you, and then he kicks like a staff, or like not a staff, but a stake into your heart. Like something like that. Like that's why I feel like they missed that opportunity right there with that. But what do I know? I'm definitely gonna be teaming up with Blade. I'm thinking so far. I know Blade is gonna be on my team for sure. I might make just a whole horror group, like a horror or like scary villains. Cause I'm thinking about having Ghost Rider, Nico, Blade, and Doctor Strange. But the what is it? Is it Summoning Strange? Oh, what is this? Defender Strange. Thinking about having all of them on my squad. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who would y'all put on y'all team? I know Blade is my #1 for sure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And while y'all down there, make sure y'all bite that like button for your boy one time. Bite that subscribe button. Come on. Help your boy out. Become a member of the Vampire Army. Because all we are is in the feeding frenzy for blood. But it's been your boy, 𝖚𝖚𝖕𝖏𝖚. I know y'all probably was gonna say, hey London, where's the vampire bracelet at? I know. It broke. But trust me, I bought another one. It's coming soon. And y'all gonna see the boy having it out. But that being said, it's been your boy. Y'all know, 𝖚𝖚𝖕𝖏𝖚. And I'll see y'all for the next video. Take care, likes, subscribe, all that good shit. Your boy is out of here. Take care.